Welcome, everyone, to Generation Dan, the only podcast where Gen X, Y, and Z argue over whether it's X, Y, and Z instead. I'm Atlas Novak. Who else is with me today?
I'm Nick Fernandez.
I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel.
And our guest today, you've seen him literally all over the country, for the most part. Give it up for Dan Grove, everybody.
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, is this the first time you've gotten a Dan on Generation Dan?
Correct. That's exactly what happened.
How did it take you this long? Like, dude,
Atlas
come on,
has been
man.
So excited about it.
I have been so...
if you were so excited, why didn't you bring me on an earlier episode?
Well, because we do round robin, and you were busy one other time, and that was...
Okay. I give you that. Okay. That's okay. Yeah. It's my fault. I back off.
Dan.
Yeah, if you say no to the invite, there's a 3-week refractory period.
Pretty much,
yeah. Refractory period. Yeah. Oh man, it's just I don't know, man. Like I'm at that refractory period post Grovegasm, just
yeah. Atlas it takes them that long to build up the courage back up to ask again.
Well, yeah, because then you're that guy who's like, you want to come on my podcast? You want to come on my podcast? You want to come on my podcast? Like,
which I respect. I get that. I'm the same way whenever I book my shows out in LA myself. It's like I try my best to not like pester people all the time, but like every time I hit someone up to be like, hey, you want to headline my show? And they're like, sorry, can't make this one. And then another month, hey, you want a headline? I'm sorry I keep bugging you. You probably hate me now.
I think a month is good because you forget.
Yeah,
right? Like,
I think so.
If it wasn't for like text keeping everything, I would have definitely forgotten.
Yeah, like there's a couple comics who I'm like, I like you, I think you're hilarious. I'm sorry I keep bothering you to do my show. I just respect you a lot. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I don't take offense when they say no. It's like I don't do that at all. It's like I realize like people are busy with their schedules. People are trying to do what they need to do. It's just more like I want to work with you because I like you a lot. You seem nice.
That's how I imagine you ask people out. I like you a lot. I want to take you to the coffee shop. You seem nice.
Here's the thing. That's something you can't ask once every month.
No, you can't.
That's when you get a restraining order.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless you want to remain 1,000 feet away from said individual, like, and you're making it a conscious. Though I will say, if it's somebody you despise and you want to keep asking them out, that way you never have to see them again. That's actually a genius tactic.
I should try that.
Just think about it. You bug them, actually, no. I'm going to back off there and actually retract my comment because I realized that if some company saw this later on down the line, like, oh, okay, Dan is pro-sexual harassment. Cool. Yeah. We're never hiring for our production. Yeah, let's. I'm going to pull that one back. It was a spontaneous idea that I immediately regret saying out loud and broadcasting to the internet.
What were you going to say, Dino?
We have those on occasion.
I just wanted to call you all pussies because, like, the fact that you guys cannot interact with people, I have no problem saying, I don't really like you. Just that doesn't mean I won't book you or anything. If you're funny and people are interested, I'll book you. Why not? I don't have to like you as a person to work with you. That's that. Oh man, you guys don't communicate well. It's very funny.
No, okay, so my thought on this is, it's two criteria that I always do with my shows, right? It's always when I first came up with my show ideas, and Atlas done my show in the past, World Warriors of Comedy. Yeah. It's like I always try and book based off of, obviously, like, hilarity is obviously priority number one because I want to make sure that people are always laughing in my shows. Yeah. But the other part of it too is making sure that they're good people to work with, because my goal too is to try and connect other comics with other comics and groups, and when people are nicer to each other, and like you're helping build a wider community and a wider network in LA. That's my goal with like uniting all these factors with these people. Like if I know you're a dick, like I'm not going to put you on the show with other people that I know are good, because it's not going to be worth your time. It's not going to be worth their time to interact with you. Don't be a dick to work with.
I feel like that is a common denominator across jobs. Is that it's like, I don't have a choice in a lot of this stuff, but the best part about going to work is if you work with good people, you're like, you know what? Even if there are problems at work, it'll get figured out. We're all very skilled and reliable people, so I'm not worried about it, But
I think, I work by myself, and I kind of like me, so that's...
that makes one.
Yeah, that's one. I in proximity with other people, but they don't do my job with me. They're just.
Do you refer to yourself as your own manager? Like, how do you?
I have done that before. Where someone's like, "Let me speak to your manager." I'm like, "One moment," and then just same voice. This is the manager, and they're like, "Wait, I wanted to speak to the manager." I'm like, "I'm a one-man department, so
I'm both the top and the bottom."
Yeah.
There's no middle.
There's no middle.
I really like the boldness
of
of coming back with the exact same voice. Just
that was good.
Like that is true courage. Like,
because you can do that, or you can pull a Mrs. Doubtfire and try and hello, or you don't have to do that, but just a different voice while being the same person.
I would love for you to do that instead, though.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Oh, hello there, dearie. You got a problem with my department, do you? Well, allow me to report him to HR. Oh, hello." Like this. By the time you get fired, but after that whole interaction, goodbye. Your face is just covered in lemon meringue pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's or you could just
horrible accent. That wouldn't have been as funny without the horrible accent too. Like, it really just.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm not like the man of a million voices. I attempt and succeed with a few, just not all.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We all have our strengths and weaknesses.
Look, I've been told I have a movie narration voice, a trailer narrator voice, and so whenever I try and go to a higher pitch, it terrifies everyone.
That's
it's
accurate. That's an accurate.
I'm seeing somebody right now, and we were talking, and all of a sudden, she slipped into a sorority sister joking voice, and I was like, "Oh my god, yes!"
Holy shit, that is terrifying.
That is creepy. That one.
Oh my god, who wants to join Kappa Kappa Gamma? Like that. That is the.
That's like Gabriel Iglesias.
That's where the voice came. That's where it was inspired from. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No.
That is uncanny, man. Like
I just imagine you
really lock
killing
into a different register there. That's
it's I go from baritone to sopranissimo.
Yeah. I just imagine you killing Kyle Kinane so you can be like, "It's an all new Broad City tonight at 9:30."
An all new Broad City here on Comedy Central. Comedy Central Radio every weekday at 9 on Comedy Central.
Yeah. I like doing Kyle. Kyle's voice is fun to do.
He's a fun voice.
It's got a good gruff to it.
The topic I had for this week's episode was secret sleepovers, because I read an article about this guy. He's a millennial, generations, and he managed to live in the office that he worked at for 500 days without getting caught.
Straight.
That's impressive.
And I was like, I wonder if I could do that. And then my girlfriend was like, "You're moving in with me in 2 months." No. And I was like, "Oh. Okay," but I still like the idea. So,
well, I mean, you might have to if you guys are getting into a pretty heated fight, right?
Right.
Then it might, out of necessity, it might not be like a secret sleepover. It's like a secret sad over.
Wait, so you two are actually moving in together at some point?
In January, yeah.
In January, so was it just like, "Oh, my lease ran up now, so I'm moving in," but you don't have to quite yet?
Her lease ran out. She's staying with her parents for 2 months. And then,
gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. And then you guys are going in together.
You're moving her today to move her again in 2 months.
Yep, and move me in 2 months also.
Gotcha.
Why do you guys suck at planning?
Well, what do you mean?
I don't know. Moving furniture twice is it like
her furniture consisted of a desk and a bed. There wasn't really a lot of actual furniture for the most part. So
I don't know.
What are you complaining about? It would take you 5 minutes.
I know.
No, it was mostly her stuff because clothes.
Women.
And,
that's fair.
I don't know what it is about moving, but something about I can get the bathroom in one box, and then 4 boxes later, you're like, how does this take up this much room?
And
why do I have so many toothbrushes?
And the thing is, in your daily life, you use maybe 5 things in the bathroom that would take up a quarter of a box. And yet by the time because we're all kind of hoarders, right? At some level we're all kind of a little bit klepto-y. You realize why do I have 3 different types of Epsom salts? Like, I've taken a bath once. I've taken a bath once in this house.
I
had
have
a really bad back.
I have had to use a laxative once.
Dude, I went through my medicine cabinet the other day, and literally I had expired Alka-Seltzer, expired like Vicodin, expired vitamins and minerals, from that pretty much it.
Before you keep going, I would like to congratulate you on being a comedian and having expired
Vicodin. Yeah,
that is not a term I'd ever hear from a comedian.
Here's my thought. Okay,
so Dan's a murderer.
Get a spot, right?
For sure.
Here's the thing. I thought about selling it to other comics at some point to be like, I'm a turn a profit. But then I was like, oh, wait, what if they OD on it and then I am to blame? I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the one responsible for people going. I don't want to be going to jail because I was like, I only took 3 for my wisdom teeth removal. Here you go.
Yeah. Did you go? Did they put you completely out for your wisdom teeth?
Mm-mm. I was in what they call twilight mode, where
you got the laughing gas.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, they gave me the laughing gas, and then I was knocked out. And then I remember them like moving my jaw around, just like I remember that feeling as they were I could tell they were struggling to fucking pull the wisdom teeth out of my mouth.
They're pulling something out of your mouth.
They're pulling something. They're extracting something. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was my lower lobe or something. I don't fucking know.
Mine weren't deep enough that they had to put me completely out. And we're up here in Canada, so they covered laughing gas. But since it wasn't medically necessary, if I wanted to go completely out, I would have to pay out of pocket. So I was like, all right, stay awake. I made a bad decision, guys, because just laughing gas while they're taking your wisdom teeth out is atrocious, because it's not just. I thought they just like cut open your like gums and then take the tooth out. No, they cut open your gums and then they drill into the tooth until it cracks into pieces, and then they pull the pieces out one by one, so you feel them tearing the bone out of your flesh. And it was interesting because it was in like an office where like the whole walls were covered in license plates. So I was like I was on laughing gas, so I didn't care.
That's a bar. That's not a dentist. No dentist.
I know. They had a Disney room and they had a license plate room. I got the license plate room.
Were you in the set of The Many Saints of Newark? Shout out to those of you who have seen that movie yet.
I've not seen it yet.
Okay. Did I just go and do a reference that none of you... Okay, my bad.
That's perfect.
Thanks for that.
There's two that are like, ha, I know you. Ha.
It's like, I know the scene and my mouth hurts thinking about it.
Yeah. But it's interesting, like having a panic attack, but not caring.
Yeah.
It's such a weird combination.
It was just like, all right, this is happening.
I was trapped in my body like, oh my god, I'm going to die. But I'm also like, yeah, but... like, it's so weird. It's such a weird... I
remember waking up after the... Well, I remember kind of waking up after the surgery. I was in San Diego staying with my aunt and uncle when I got my teeth removed, because I was like, I'll go to there because it's like $1,000 cheaper than going to this guy in LA. And I just remember waking up, looking at the dental assistant and just like being wheeled out, like my face just covered, swollen, just looking at her and going, You're very pretty. just being wheeled out, just like half unconscious. And then I remember getting in my aunt's car, driving back to their house. And then she called my mom to let her know the removal went okay. And I just remember yelling out loud, "It hurts! My mouth hurts like a bitch!" And both my mom and my aunt were just like, "Daniel, watch your language." And I'm like, "I don't care. I'm drugged up." And I just remember, like, I wanted to take as much of the Vicodin as possible, but I swear, it was almost like I was in, my aunt was like my rehab counselor or something like that, just going and being like, "No, you're only allowed to have this much." I'm like, "But I want more." And she's like, "You're experiencing withdrawal." I'm like, "This is the first time I've taken this narcotic," you know? Oh, man.
Oh. Yeah, they're not, like... I remember like the only few times I had like Tylenol 3s, like I had them in, like after I got like my deviated septum fixed, and I was like, I don't get like these don't feel fun. Like, they're barely taking care of the pain. I'm still in pain. Like, and then I'm like, okay, this is probably because I'm taking the right amount. Like, I also came to that realization. I'm like, maybe you're not supposed to feel nothing. Like,
I remember the following week I was at work. I was doing this like AE gig over at Fox at the time, and I just remember I was popping Tylenol gel caps like they were M&Ms. Man, it was like I was eating like 5 at a time. I think there was one day where I ate like 20 gel caps in a sitting, and I was like, "What's the recommended dosage?" Oh, a quarter of this.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, my digestive tract.
Last week I got a massage, and the next day, like, he had like really like worked out a kink in my forearm, so much so that like it started cramping the next day because like the muscles weren't used to being in that position. And I've never had heroin, but I expect the feeling is like when I took the 2 Motrin fast-acting gel caps and they hit the muscle, like that must be what it feels like when you just get that instant relief from something that's been bothering you for hours. Like, that's got to be what it is, right?
I mean, you could do that, or you could just take 2 doses of the Moderna vaccine after you've had COVID-19 yourself. And I think it's the same experience.
Yeah.
I'm pro-vaccine, by the way. I'm pro-vaccine. It's just the side effects suck.
Yeah.
But
the Moderna,
hey, I'll take that. I'll take not getting the disease again.
Yeah. Wow.
All I can think about right now is, do you remember Parks and Recreation where they go to that bar and Ron Swanson's like, "This is consuming alcohol wrong"? I feel like that listening to this conversation. I'm like, you guys are doing things wrong, and I don't understand what's happening. Like, none of you have mouths big enough for your teeth, and they have to perform like mad surgery. I'm like, dude, I walked into the dentist, and they're just like, "Oh yeah," and he just popped them out. What kind of world are you people in?
Well,
I can't even feel my face right now. I'm so high. What the hell?
My wisdom teeth were completely sideways in my face.
Ah!
Yeah, same.
So, like, the tops of my wisdom teeth were touching the
You'll
side.
They'll come out. It'll work out in the end. Just
they were getting pushed
come to my house. I'll
into
take
my
care of
other
it.
teeth.
Oh my god, it hurt my face so much.
I mean, doing that and getting my wisdom teeth out is one of the things that got me into comedy.
Yeah, you know the suffering I endured while the dentist just extract the teeth from my mouth.
No.
I was in that moment. I was like, maybe I should tell jokes for a living.
Now, what happened was I was back in, resting at my mom's place, and her friend was visiting. He's like a college professor. Thank you, Dino. So he's a college professor, and he's like, "I'm going to get coffee. You want to come with?" Not sure why. I'm like, sure. So I walked with him across the street to the Unurban Cafe, which no longer exists. And while I was in line with him, there was a sign that said, open mic, like Thursdays or whatever it was. And I was like, I want to do that. And then I just decided to do it while I was like completely out of my mind.
Was this the West Side? Is that the
No.
you're down at?
No. This is the Unurban.
Oh, the Unurban used to do. I got you.
Yeah, because this is before I was 17, so I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Was the Unurban Cafe in a urban area?
Yes.
That upsets me.
That's very Santa Monica of them.
Yeah, I was going to say Santa Monica tries its best to not seem like it's a city when it's
There's no such thing as unurban. It's rural and
That's
urban.
Yeah.
What about suburbs?
People know words and make up new words.
I don't know, but
here's the thing: this is how you know LA is a hypocritical area, because they made fun of George Bush for all of his Bushisms, and then started making up their own words for their own environments.
Yeah, definitely. But I just decided to do it, and a week later I gave it a try, and then it turns out, I'm that much of an attention whore. I'm gonna keep doing it. So.
What would the rural cafe be? Would there be sawdust on that ground?
It'd be a Cracker Barrel. That's what it would be.
That's
Cracker Barrel.
Hey, yeah.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
It's simple as that. Oh, it's just some
I didn't know there
spot
was
where you can get biscuits and gravy.
But that was the right answer.
Yeah, it's Cracker Barrel.
It was Cracker Barrel trying to crack into the Starbucks.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. All right. So,
sorry, I completely derailed the conversation about your
no,
interest.
it's okay.
Exactly what we want.
Pipes.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Pipes.
It goes where it goes.
I'm loud.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not that. It's the Tom Segura.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pipes! But
Yeah.
pipes. Yeah.
Pipes!
Yeah.
I was going to say, Dino looks so loud like Segura. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but
No, it
this is good.
Okay. I feel like I'm the Wish.com version of him. It's okay.
You look like you could have played...
No,
sorry,
you're not Wish.com. You're Alibaba.
From Arabian Nights?
No, you guys don't know? That's Chinese eBay, where you can buy everything in bulk. Like, you can buy 8,000 t-shirts.
So I'm Tom Segura in bulk?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're Tom Segura...
You're fat too, you piece of shit. Okay? Fuck you.
I was going to say, Dino, you're Tom Segura if he actually did the Jared's brother role for Subway.
Yeah. Seems accurate.
If he method acted.
I'm a fan of entire loaves of bread eaten in one sitting.
That is, I get you. This is delicious.
Dino, almost Tom Segura Marvel. I don't know if that's gonna stick.
Wish.com Segura sounds
Wish.
like a cool last name.
Welcome back to 4 Bears, 1 Cave.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
Atlas, what job did you immediately jump to in your head that you could do a secret sleepover at?
So, after reading that story, I realized I could do it at my current job, because not only do I have a key to the building to let myself in the morning, so that's easy. The back room where my computer is used to have places where we kept the patient files. When we switched to electronic, they put them in boxes and just left them there. So it's just like storage, basically. So a bunch of boxes and stuff for patients, and you can just hide a cot back there.
Could you create a fort?
Maybe, but it would be pretty conspicuous because the boxes are up against the wall.
Right, but could you surreptitiously? How much space do you need to sleep? It's about 3 feet, right?
6
wide.
feet? How short do you think I am?
No, sideways, dude.
Oh,
I'm thinking if you're looking, how wide is your body?
No, not 6 feet. Dude. Probably about 3 feet.
Yeah, 3 feet. So could you pull the boxes 3 feet off the wall and then create some sort of door, and then kind of do a little
what?
Yeah,
you could.
Sleeping nook.
I feel like that would be
sleeping
very.
Or are you gonna go full Costanza and just under?
How often? Okay, so there's two factors.
Desk.
Two factors you got to think of. How often do people go into that room on a regular basis?
On that side of the room, none.
Yes.
I just have to be careful of snoring or just movement.
Well,
or seizures.
What you do is you track who goes in there how often, and in between times that they go in there, what you do is you move the boxes closer to the doorway, so you can't really perceive that they're slowly moving forward. And that's you gradually create a wall that deceives people thinking it was always there, as if the room has filled up in their absence, and then you create a spot.
The old nickel and the receiver trick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's exactly That's for once you're actually right.
In terms of people coming in,
mostly right.
Yeah.
You are not. You are not. You talked about
young.
politics and stuff, and I was like, no, you're wrong on so many levels. Horrible.
Wait, I got to backtrack. So what was he wrong about? Did he think Greece was like a surplus of finances?
The whole thing. No. He's like, people are retiring at 13 years old.
Because there's no jobs.
I'm like, no, none of that. I'm Greek. I've been to Greece. I have a house in Greece. None of that is true. None of it's accurate. People can't fly there, though. We're magical.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
Well, because y'all. Yeah, I was gonna say you're all descendants of Hermes and Conrad.
Better than herpes.
The fucking Futurama reference.
Yep. I went there. I was just like, what's another Greek god? Conrad. Oh no, I'm on a Futurama dick. Whoops. I'm on a Futurama bender. Ha. All right.
Good stuff.
All right.
So
drown I want to waterboard myself for that one.
Have for this week, guys.
The only people who come in, there's the cleaning crew, which comes anywhere between 7 and 9 p.m. And then whoever comes in for the morning, which I can keep track of the latter case because there's here's the schedule for the week. So I just have to be awake before then and just make it look like I got there before people because
I really like your plan though of slowly moving the boxes forward.
Yeah.
This would be like I feel like it would be like a 2 to 3 week commitment in order to get it to the 3 feet that you want. But I believe if you do a simple 2 inches a day, you could get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's
Very
you just have to meticulously, and even still, you could add extra boxes in there to create the illusion that boxes are being added. There's quite a lot of ways you can mess with it.
I like that, Dino. Take some of the boxes from the top and bring them down to the floor, and then like one day, but then bring it forward and put it back up. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
It's a good idea.
What you have to do is in short enough time spans that it quickens it, like it gets done faster, but also that people think it's regular business, just a little different, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually affect their cognition of the area.
Atlas, how are you with tools?
Not very good. Why?
Okay, all right. I was just thinking if we could go full inside man with this, and like one day, let's build a frame. Let's get some extra drywall in there. Let's build yourself a little nook. A little false wall.
A little nook.
Yeah, a little nook.
Atlas nook vac.
Yeah.
God damn it, he's got another one.
I got them locked and loaded, man.
I get the feeling that that's going to turn into I don't know if you guys saw the second Quiet Place movie.
No, I haven't seen it yet. Okay. I love the first one. I just haven't gotten her.
You
got to be in a mood for those movies, and I'm never and I would never want to watch that movie alone. Yeah, because I feel like jump scares are only really fun when you're with friends, because you can be like, you reacted more than I did. Yeah, but I've never gotten around to it. But.
Dino, I think he's a wimp.
Yeah.
He's a huge pussy. There's he's such a huge pussy.
Hate horror movies.
It bothers me.
I don't understand.
It actually bothers me that he's such a pussy.
Yeah.
There's a scene where a person has their compound behind a bank vault.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking of when Nick imagines the.
It's Edmund.
Yeah. So I think it's possible to do. I think I would want to give it a try just to save money, right? You go for about 6 months without having to pay rent, and then use that to build up your savings. The guy in that article, he used the time to build a truck that he could move and live it, just kind of build an RV, but not really. And then he said, "Now I just go up and down the PCH doing odd jobs. I'm happy." I'm like, "Good for you, man. Good for you."
Him. Yeah.
It's awesome. Isn't that so sad though? That relief of a year and a half of paying rent and just being able to have that situation can change your life, and you're like, you know what? Because that's the thing is, everyone wants to be a millionaire, a billionaire, and be ultra wealthy. Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want to be able to just be like, I have just stuff and I can do whatever I want, right? But the fact is, as you grow older, you just realize, you know what? That's just money and stuff. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't mean, you know who owned that? Some guy. Who gives a shit?
You just want to be able to
enjoy my day.
Yeah,
do what I love, and you know what? Have food to eat. In my case, a lot of food to eat, but that's all right.
So I'm now wondering, of jobs you worked, how possible is that for you guys?
Yeah, easy.
I could definitely do it now, 100%.
Lay us on it. Lay it on us. What's
okay? I mean, look, I worked from home for a year and a half, so I'm basically already.
That doesn't count, you idiot.
I've experienced it. My office is my bedroom.
Well, no. I'm talking about somewhere you're not supposed to be.
Okay.
I saw it in Dan's face that he was like, "I work from home. I'm still gonna answer that I can." And I saw it the whole time. I'm like, "Don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole." He's like, "I work from home." No, you.
But no. No. Yeah. Straight people are starting to go back in the office now. I've had to go into the office periodically to do maintenance and stuff. And it's very there are so many alcoves in my space. I do IT, so it's oh cool, I have instant server room access. I'm building access pretty much across the board. Server room access, machine room access, store janitorial closet access. We have this one room that's designated called quote unquote tech storage, which is basically just where we dump all of our computers or wires or like cables, all that crapola. And honestly, I could literally just build like a box fort of like all the stuff that we've had there, surround it, blow up an air mattress, and just sleep there all the time. And like the beautiful part too is like there's a shower in the building too, so it's like, all right, cool, I can bathe in them.
All right.
I've used it a couple times. I remember one time I woke up mad late one day and like just sprinted straight to work, grabbed like a bag of like grabbed like a duffel bag with like clothes in it and just floored it and just like, I'm sorry I'm late. And then on my break I just showered. And I was like, this is great. But then people were coming in and banging on the wall being like, Dad, I need the conference room to be fixed. I'm like, not right now. I'm naked.
Is IT the easiest job to like to really stretch out a task? Because the people that are asking for your help don't know how to do it?
No, okay. Well, here, I'm going to give you a life hack. IT is a job that anybody can do so long as they're willing to do a Google search for it. That's it. My 90% of my job is just Google searching the answer to somebody's problem. Because when people show me the error, like, Dan, you know the error to this? I'm like, sure. Exception 4119 in Avid Media Composer. Yeah, that's, oh, yeah, the media's offline. That's all you got to do. And then they're like, Dan, you're a genius. And I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not just resourceful.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where, like, if somebody figured out, like, if a higher up was like, wait a minute, they can just Google it, they would fire IT in a second, but they don't want to. They're old people, so.
Well, it's also like it's a luxury. Having an IT person on site is a luxury, I've found. Where it's like if you have someone who could come and assist you with problems like just that way, so you can just solely focus on your task ahead. That makes it so much more viable for you to be more productive in your company.
Probably,
yeah. That's kind of how I've seen it. You know, you're able to churn out stuff. You don't have to. Even though it's important to wear multiple different hats because certain parts of the field I support is very like multifaceted. Mm-hmm. You know, like you are so highly ultra specific. You want to just be hired to do just that one task and not have to worry about that because then you get cross departmental payment. It's a whole mess. Right. It's a whole thing. Big business is complex.
See. Dan's thing has the shower in the building. My plan would have to involve getting a gym membership and using that to shower with. So far he's got the win so far. Said so far twice.
I like that. So far he's got the win so far.
Hey, I've got dubs all around, man. This is great. First time I've been feeling that in my life.
Aw. Dan,
Damn, man. Atlas, I'm gonna roast the fuck out of you.
Game on, bitch! Yeah. We're doing a roast battle at the Comedy Store.
Fun times.
Yeah. So
when you work in a super large company, it's incredible, like how much knowledge you think that most people have or would be common sense, and then you find out, like in a 45-minute meeting, that 90% of the company doesn't know that you can like click a button that adds filters to a spreadsheet. Yeah. Like you find out that like, oh, no one thought to hover over that. Like, oh my God. And then people like would like lighting up a Zoom chat being like, oh my God, what a game changer when they find out about text to columns. Like,
What's interesting too is like where the ones the problem when people hit me up with their problems, it's almost like they're setting up an obstacle course for me sometimes with like their computers, where they'll be like, "Damn, my computer went offline," and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out like, normally this fix works. Why is this not working one day? Like, what's going on? Be like, yeah, no, this one program that I had installed on my machine, it's like I set it up just yesterday to make it improved on my workflow, and now everything's not working, and I don't know why. And I'm like.
And then you open Chrome and it's like 12 toolbars. You're like,
it's like some like they installed like their own like independent malware because they're like malware protector because they're like, oh, I want to stay protected. I'm like, I installed something on your computer to handle that already, man. Like, dude, I want to be more secure. I'm like, you just worry about
secure.
You just worry about designing your stuff in Photoshop. I'll handle that.
Yeah, I taught one of the receptionists about Control F yesterday.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And they were like, "This is a game changer. How did you know this?" I'm like, "I assumed you would know this before." Like,
yeah. And then did you tell her Control C and Control V and really blow her mind?
No, she already knew that, and she knew about Control S and Control Q, but something about Control F, which is right next door, just didn't occur to her for whatever reason.
I'll be honest, I didn't know about the Mac, the Apple shortcut Command Spacebar when you're in the Finder window just to like automatically find something. I'd always just go up and click on the spotlight, like the magnifying glass. And I was like, oh man, wow, I'm an idiot but like I wasn't like mind blown being like, this is a game changer. I was like, I'm really dumb for not knowing this already.
You want to hear something dumb?
I didn't know that
from
right
you
now.
right now.
Yeah. Same. Been using a Mac for like 12 years. Yeah. Just found that out. All right, cool.
And Dino's like, I've been using a Mac all of my life. I've been using a Mac since the inception of Apple, which was when I was 25.
He's actually the one who gave Steve Jobs cancer.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I'll take credit for that. That's
I could easily see that. You know, in like time travel stories where
I feel bad about that. He's actually the guy that convinced Steve Jobs to do holistic medicine.
There it is.
Now you know my tricks.
He's the only one that I know of who won't get a vaccine, but also honors the "I'm not going outside" part. Like
that's good.
It's called common sense, and it is in short supply, sir. Because I don't.
He's the only one who. He's the only anti-vaxxer I know for COVID that like I
am not anti-vaccine. I want a vaccine that works. That's all. And in the meantime, I'm staying at home and not dealing with anyone's bullshit. It is fantastic because I can think of myself so much better than other people think of me.
Did you
Atlas specifically?
Excuse me, Dino. Sorry. Did you just casually play with an extendable pointer? Is that what?
No, it is actually a back scratcher.
Butt stretcher.
Yes.
Butt scratcher. You had one of those like index things, and you're like, and the reason I want a vaccine that works.
If you'll come over to my handy dandy blackboard, we will.
If you can tell by this recent result chart right here, even though Moderna proves 95% effective, we need the additional 5% for me to take it.
You can follow me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram right here.
Oh, there you go.
Now you're just showing off that you've been spending a lot of time.
I'll be honest, Dino. It looks like just an extendable way for you to be able to reach over and scoop some KFC mac and cheese.
It'd be really funny if I'm like, just gonna.
It does look like kind of like a crab fork.
It's a crab fork.
Like those.
A crab fork.
Yeah,
like a lobster fork. I know what he's talking about.
Lobster fork, crab fork.
Yeah.
It's
the one with the two little prongs, except mine has four because I'm very large.
It's like that, but it does have like kind of a spoonish part to it to make it easier for you to get the
It's actually the size of my hands. I use fake hands. These are fake hands, but this is my real hand.
You know, that's one bit.
Why would you point that out?
That Jimmy Fallon is like very committed to. That I will always watch those clips when he does like the tiny hands, like the mannequin arm tiny hand things with people. I always find it funny. I don't. You know, and
it is very funny. Yeah, those little ones that you put on your fingers, and you're like, super creepy, but also hilarious.
I don't like Jimmy Fallon that much, although I liked him in Let's Do It in My Twin Bed. That's a good one, good SNL sketch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like the movie Fever Pitch. Actually, I enjoyed that one. But I'm also a Red Sox fan, so that kind of is.
I really enjoyed him. Like there was a couple of years where I would stay up. Like during the summer, just to watch late night, because like he had a few years where he was like really really consistent and funny, but when he switched over to like the Tonight Show, he got a lot more like broad and like less, you know, he went a lot safer with the comedy and it was a lot more games and stuff, which was I don't know.
Anybody get
He's making his money.
Anybody get the feeling that they put him on the Tonight Show because he looked at the camera so often on SNL that they're just like, why don't we just make that part of the thing? Like, you have to look at the camera for the Tonight Show. So just lean into the...
If you'd like a list of people that will never be on the Tonight Show, they're here today.
Yeah, it's like, all right, let's talk shit about the show that we want to be on, but after...
I would kill any one of your families to be on that show.
And if I get put on it, they're definitely rolling that clip, and I will be hilariously humiliated.
Guys, I don't think we're ever gonna get. They don't even have stand-ups on anymore.
They don't.
They don't do stand-up sets anymore.
Oh, what's the point?
Yeah, Yeah,
That's why I go to. That's why I go to
We're already
Colbert.
famous. We're already famous. We
Seth
have
Meyers
movies
and
coming out,
Colbert
things like
do it,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Colbert does Seth Meyers do stand up? No,
Seth does occasionally, but it's pretty rare. I mean, Conan was the big one, giving everybody stand up sets back in the day. Corden kind of does, but I think it's if you're really a lot more established.
Yeah.
What was it?
Also, who's going to see your Corden set?
I mean, hey, look. Broadcast television is broadcast television.
Yeah, so you get to be like, you've seen him on.
You have the watermark.
Like,
yeah.
It's really valuable.
It is actually helpful, like because I have one of those credits where it's like technically,
right.
You know,
well,
you're like it doesn't. Yes, it does.
Technically,
that's like
seen on CBC, but
oh my god, that's like me going, oh yeah, I technically opened for Adam Sandler because he popped in at a mic I was at in like 2019, like that.
Yeah, those.
I technically have a NBC credit because I walked by while they were filming a documentary, like.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You can Google me. So how about that?
All right.
You can actually
cool.
Google my name. How about that?
I actually
was
on an Amazon Prime documentary about Just for Laughs. And I'm in the audience shots because I went to Just for Laughs that year with my family, and it was like Rosebud Baker, like when she was
Rosebud's
on that,
great.
like and like there's a hard shot where like she says like her darkest jokes and it just cuts to me and my dad dying, and I was like, that would.
I really like Rosebud Baker a lot. Actually, I think she's very, very good. I watched her special that Comedy Central put out.
I haven't seen it yet, but I saw
it
on Just for Laughs. That I think this was like 3 years ago, 4 years
ago.
Yeah, and she was really, really good there. Like she stood out of that whole gala. But and then it's funny because you even like doing comedy, like you don't hear about people for a few years, and then all of a sudden like they become huge, and you're like, I remember them. That's cool.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about being in LA is like you see some of these comics right now that. Like you can sense like, dang, these guys are really awesome, and then you're like, you see them from the very beginning, and then all of a sudden, like over the next like 3, 4, 5 years, they just explode in terms of ability, potential, all that fun stuff, man. It's really cool to watch.
Do you also do the thing where you find someone who's really good, and then they're popping, and then like you like look into them, and then you're like realize, oh, they've been doing it for 12 years, and then you feel better about yourself?
Yeah.
Anybody else do that?
Yeah,
I do. The person like when I first started, like Ryan O'Flanagan, who was the history teacher on American Vandal, the one who gets fired. Oh, okay. Yeah. So like I met him my first year, and then like it's been almost a decade till that happened. So I was like, oh, okay, I feel better. And then also I started as a teenager, and I had college, and so I have all of the excuses for like 3 more years, then I gotta get cracking.
I mean, like I've only been actively pursuing stand up for about 3-4 years right now. Like that's like I've been like doing like screenwriting and comedy sketch work since like I was 18, but I don't consider my stand up beginnings until about like 2017, 2018.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's late 2017, early 2018. So yeah. But honestly, it's like, look, I could be like, oh man, I could feel better about myself that it took them this long, or I could be like, let me light a fire under my ass and actually write better material. Figure out why my stuff's not working. Figure out why is this not hitting? Why is this punchline sounding tacky? Is it too forced? Is it because it's not sounding realistic? It's not being honest to who I am. You got to think about that too.
Or you're just really bad at networking like I am.
Yeah. Look, you can either blame it for the people that you are, or you could just bust your ass and work harder. That's all it is. Like when I get mad, I'm just like, all right. When I bomb or I tank, I'm like, all right, my set wasn't great because my material isn't there yet, and I need to make it better.
Just never do it with you know who, because he's gonna be outside with you and be like, that was the best set I've ever done. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Number one, I am loving the fact that I'm not the one that's saying this right now because I wholeheartedly agree. 100%.
That's all it is.
But the fact is that most people will do as Atlas says, like, I just killed it. You're like, you walked what little audience was here. And they're like, yeah, I was hilarious. You're like, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
No.
Just an FYI, they don't leave with you. They stay for the show. That's,
Don't lie to yourself when you have a shitty set, man.
Listen,
Like-
well, that's the thing is, it can be not your crowd. That's fine,
Yeah.
but there's no such thing as a bad crowd, right? You can turn a bad crowd can become a good crowd with your versatility, right? But
you ever do that like almost as a sacrifice, where like the crowd's doing bad, or like somebody killed it or whatever, something happened, and then you go and your set wasn't great, but you got people more receptive, and the rest of the show is okay.
Yes,
it's like
I've been
out fly, you fools! Like you're Gandalf. Like,
yeah. I mean, look, that kind of happened to me last night. Honestly, like I went on. Oh, okay. You want me to tell it? Okay, you want me to tell the story after?
I like when Booker, like I've been put in that position a few times, but like the producers were like nice about it. Like they came up and they're like, "Hey, do you mind going second bullet?" Like because someone's like on stage just absolutely tanking, and they're like, "Do you mind just going up and clearing this up?" And then you're like, "All right, I'm gonna have like it's not gonna be a great set, but like I understand my role here."
They show up with the bun head, and they're like, "Help us, Nick Fernandez comedy. You're our only hope."
Yeah, they're kneeling in front of a droid.
Yeah,
I don't know if Nick was at this show that I went to, and I was supposed to be. I don't even remember what number I was, but the first, or they had two comics in a row. I'm not sure if it was the first two, but one of them, he's just a horribly depressing comic, and he's a young guy. And then the other one, his grandfather just died, and I was like, he just got back from like the funeral and everything, and I was like, he's not in a state. So essentially, they had 2 5-minute sets that were just on suicide. That's what it was, and I was like, and then the guy who was running the show, he was the host, goes, all right, I'm gonna bring up a cheerful comic, and he invites me on, and I'm like,
I didn't tell you beforehand. He was just like, surprise, motherfucker.
I knew I was going next, but he introed me as I'm the guy who's gonna cheer everyone up, and I'm I'm like, I've never been introduced as the cheery one.
Oh man, I remember. Oh, sorry. Go keep.
Well, that's the thing is just to show. I'm like, we've been talking a lot about suicide, and a few people just went, please make it stop. Like they just had this look on their face, and I'm like,
for context,
I tell you how I would do.
Dino is a more angry Lewis Black. Continue.
More angry.
And more broad-based. A lot more things, not just politics, anger me. Regular things, pigeons. Why are they in the city? Just kill them. I don't know. Little things like that. But this is the thing is, I said, you know what? I'll tell you guys how I do it, because I want to go out people knowing that I am a man. I am a manly man. I'm like, this is what I would do is I would get the see-through, the invisible Kevlar wiring and tie a noose, but then I'd also super glue my hands to the side of my head. And then when the noose takes my head off, it'll look like I had just ripped off my own head out of anger. And I'm like, that's how you go out like a man.
Oh, my God.
And everyone just goes, all right, we're back. And I'm like, all right, let's do some fat jokes and dick jokes, baby. That's my forte.
All right, Dino,
That's even better than James Franco in the Buster Scruggs where he's like, first time. Like, that was the best news joke until that. That's
oh man,
there's a few holes in that, Dino, because
oh my God,
how
no, there isn't.
How are you going to get rid of the Kevlar wiring? Like, you know, you need to have a friend. You need to have a friend that comes in and does.
It's invisible. You can't really see through it. That's why you make it short and you have a long drop, so it doesn't look that way. You make it from an odd place. There's so many ways around it.
Are you telling me you got a high ceiling place, man? Are you flexing on us? Huh? How high are those ceilings?
I believe the term is vaulted. Dick.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Nick, why?
Dino the Genetic Marvel homeowner. Fuck you.
Nick, why would you? Dino just described how he was able to turn the room around. You're the type of audience member that will sit there and just stare shallowly at the audience, at the comedian, being like, I'm going to find any sort of hole I can find in this guy's set, and then come up and say how I would do it to him afterwards.
Yeah.
Like an asshole.
I don't know.
I feel bad. I feel like I'm picking on Nick for no apparent reason, and I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't say don't worry about
it's
it.
what the show's for.
I'm trying to think
Builds
about
character.
if I wasn't a comedian, would I be that person? And I don't think so, because like I've always attended shows and been a performer like of music, so I think I'm more respectful than that. But I think
I feel like you're the
that
type.
would be my monologue.
I feel like you're the type of person that goes up to a Starbucks employee and like tries to cover up their own dickish attitude with like, oh no, but I get where you're coming from. I used to work in food service too.
Yeah, no. I'm a dream customer at most places, because
Nick does have a great fake smile.
Yeah, and I like to like get.
I'm jealous of it. I'm jealous of it.
Yeah, like I like to get things through things quickly. So like I'll try and make it as easy as possible for the barista. So like the second they look up, I'm like, this is what I want, Visa, and I just stare at them and I'm waiting. I'm like, I do not want to extend this any longer than possible. Like,
wait, is Nick basically like a customer incel right now, where he's like, if it was me, this is how I would do it, but nobody likes me.
I'm just gonna post about it on Yelp.
That's exactly what it is. Because you know what?
Yeah.
He thinks he's the best.
I know
customer.
I'm being
He's
roasted
a
right
dick.
now, but I don't know what for what. Like
I'll
I don't
tell you why.
understand.
Okay.
I don't understand the topic.
Okay.
I'm trying to roll with it.
I'm sorry.
I'm confused.
I'm sorry. It's not fair when I team
it's
up
so
with Dino.
good.
It's just not fair.
Listen, this is how you do it, okay? To be nice at Starbucks, you walk up and you say, how are you today? Ask them how they're doing today. It's something they're not asked, not even by their own employers. Now you've created a human bond. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine got written up. He works at Starbucks because he was working the drive-thru, and the guy was taking a while, and he goes, geez, can you order any slower? While the mic was still on. So if I was the customer, I'm not going to complain to the manager. He's making fun of you. That's it. Relax, you know?
That's great.
He's not saying to you, could you order any slower? You ask, he's just like, geez.
Now, here's the question, though. Was it the customer that reported him, or was it that was reviewed later on or anything like that?
The customer reported him, because the customer came up and was like, let me speak to your manager, and blah, blah, blah. So
that customer doesn't deserve Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
No.
Yeah.
That person got out of their car, parked, walked into the establishment, and went, yeah, I know I'm in a hurry, but I just need to let you know that your drive-through guy is an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to explain it to you.
Starbucks is the only place where when you go through the drive-through, you're not assuming it's quicker.
No.
Right?
No.
I'm just lazier.
You're just saying I don't want to get out of my car.
That's right.
But
Exactly.
it's not a swift experience in the Starbucks drive-thru.
No.
Yeah. No. Also, there are some places where it's just the drive-thru and you can't go it, which that's like Taco Bell usually, but
Taco Bell, yeah. In-N-Out kind of does that.
I've seen those in the States where it's the tiniest Taco Bell ever, because it's basically just enough space inside for like 4 people to stand.
Yeah.
Those are interesting.
Stuff.
It does seem like very dehumanizing to work in there, though.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because it's not like you can take your break
no,
anywhere.
You gotta go sit in your car and I'm not doing that. I would normally leave, but I like
Be a horrible place.
Oh, right, yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, horrible place to do a secret sleepover.
Yeah.
Dino, you worked in a bank. Is it possible to do something like that?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely possible. So this is the thing, is a lot of the times, especially if it's an older bank, it will have a second vault that is not used anymore. So it'll be used for documentation and storage mostly. But a lot of times, especially in older banks, it'll be in like the basement of the bank.
Yeah.
And the only problem is a lot of old vaults don't have a release
Handles
from
on the inside?
Yeah. Such an asshole. So usually, and that's the thing, you don't use a handle on the inside. It's usually a foot pedal, and that will open. So that's on all the new ones. But the old ones, a lot of the times, you can technically you would suffocate because there's no ventilation or anything, right?
Yeah.
I have been locked in the vault as a prank a couple times. I worked in so a friend. Let's see. I was his best man at his wedding. He was my best man at my first wedding. We were really close for a lot of years. and he's still my advisor. But we worked really well together, and we would always send each other to go into that vault and then lock each other in it. And I'm a lot slower than he is. He's very thin and very fast, and he got me a couple times. But I also am built like some sort of giant human. So yeah, I would just make a lot of noise where people were like, "What's going on down there?" He's like, "Construction. Mind your business." And that was
I don't think a drill press sounds like, "Hey, get me the fuck out of here."
No, but when I start banging the steel against the steel and just start shaking it, it's yeah.
What's that? It's a jackhammer.
No,
it's still old, right? So it's got a lot of give, so you can just start banging it.
We're right above the subway line. It's fine.
Yeah. They're expanding the subway line. That's exactly what's happening.
So if you're using like the downstairs no longer used vault, how do you set that up for yourself?
People just don't go into it, right? And the thing is, it'll be depending on the size of the vault. A lot of the times you'll be able to get in there and move around some of the area of the boxes and stuff because it'll have a lot of storage area. So the harder part is if it's not very full, that makes it a lot harder. But usually it is full with like just archived documents and stuff like that. Stuff that we have to keep by law, but aren't put into storage or stuff like that. Where it's like certain, because most records are held centralized in a centralized area and copied and that kind of stuff. Whereas some documents are just historical and like records of various things are just held in the branch. So if you have a lot of stuff like that, you could make a wall where you could hide behind, but ultimately, it depends on that.
So it's less about getting in and more about getting out and like making sure the vault doesn't close on you. That is quite the gamble.
And it is very weird when that door closes and you're on the inside and no, you can't get out. It's like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. This is
well. I hope I brought a bucket.
And there's no way to move about the bank freely at night because cameras. So you can't like use the bathroom or go take a shower.
Yeah. So and on my understanding, and I may be wrong, but like I had a key and I was able to, because I was an advisor, I would have authority to be there late into the night. That wasn't a big thing. But the problem is, after I think it was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, then everything was being watched. Any movement would trigger a human eye to watch you. I believe like that was the whole idea. So it's like, because people aren't supposed to be in the bank at that time. Right. But that's mostly in the banking hall where I would usually have an office off of. Yeah. But other times I was in a building or even in a second floor, and that's a totally different scenario.
What's it like for that building if you're on the second floor?
Oh, it's not that bad. Then yeah, because it's just not, nobody gives a shit. It's just paperwork. Right? Okay,
so you just Costanza under the desk and
kind of thing? And I tried to get a couch for one of my offices. It was renovated on the second floor, so it was frustrating because the bathroom was all the way in the basement.
Oh,
so the bathroom that was on the same floor, everyone like had really bad ventilation. So if you took a shit, like the whole floor would stink for a long time. Even like not a really bad shit, but a smelly one.
Yeah,
the whole floor would smell for the whole time. Like it had like weird ventilation where it would just spread it instead of getting it out.
Ooh. That's one of those things where you flush like mid shit just to
to get it on the.
Yeah. You're just like I mean, look, when I flush mid shit, I'm just like, I hope this doesn't. If I crap any longer, I will clog the toilet.
That's like what's only known as epic diarrhea. That's
yeah. I had that last night before my show, actually.
Yeah, that's never fun.
Well, I intermittent fast most days, so like I have like a massive meal like for dinner. So the shits I take the next day, like 99% of the time I'm breaking water in terms of like the volume. So the end of my shit is always like painfully repulsive in smell, because like once you stack above the water, you're getting the full scent. Like
Dino.
Once again, I am happy that I am not leading this conversation.
Nick Shipwreck Fernandez.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nick low tide at the pier. Fernandez.
That's a very
Dealer's choice on
California.
that one.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Nick Foghorn Leghorn Anus.
Yeah.
Fernandez.
Nick, could you do a secret sleepover at there
well,
it is. Yeah.
the fun part is that
That's so
when
gross.
Dan made the joke earlier, I sat on mine and was like, "No, I'm not going to do it," because I also work from home currently. And I was like, "No, it's not. I'm not going to do it."
Yeah.
Yeah, at previous jobs there was when I worked at a consulting firm, they had an office downtown, and like the lights would like turn off after a certain time, and you would have to like call like the office admin to like turn the lights back on in your area if you wanted to like stay work late. So that and they also had like nap rooms for like people who had migraines and stuff.
Nap room. That's how you make it happen.
Yeah, so like
No,
you could definitely
You can't.
No.
You have to make a second nap room, because the nap room people go in all the damn time.
people use it, yeah. And then
Yeah.
people also get to know your shoes if you use it. So I would use like when I would like go and like take like ridiculously long shits because I was an intern and paid hourly. So I would just like I would bill extra time to like throughout the day, and I would just I would have like my workout shoes like in my gym bag, and I'd put those on before I went to take a shit, and then I would just sit there like for half because there was also Wi-Fi, so I would just watch Netflix like and take like long shits.
Full volume. You're like, we're all watching Netflix, boys. No problem.
I mean, I had headphones, you maniac.
I gotta give you credit. That's impressive. All of that. Well done, sir.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have played Netflix full volume to conceal the sound of my sharts, man. 100%. Be like, oh man, I had calamari last night. Looks like I'm listening to Squid Game today.
But that job was great. Like I made so much money because I was good at the job, and people like because I was an intern, anyone could give you work, and I was efficient with it. But like I could get like a task done in like they would say like this should take you 3 hours. It would take me 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But I would give it back to them in an hour and 45. Right? So
why
like,
didn't you just give it back to them in 3 hours?
Because then they keep giving me more work.
Yeah,
because I wanted
adoration.
No, because I was like they give me more work. I also given overtime, right? So anything over 38 hours, I was getting paid time and a half. So and I was like, all right, so like my goal was every day to like do like an hour extra of overtime, like so aggregate on the week, because I was fucking making bank. Like I would go out with my buddies and I'd be like, guys, all of the apps and drinks are on me because I stole so much from this company this past week.
Wait,
do you want me to,
so 38 hours?
Randomly come back and sue?
Yeah, I think that would be wise. No. Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't worked there for years. It's fine.
Okay.
Fine. It's like, who knows? They might come back and hit me with an embezzlement lawsuit in like 2035, but nah. You don't need this video graphic.
No one gives any shit.
Zero shits.
Wait, so Canadians have a 38-hour work week? That's their regulation?
37
by law, it's 7.5 hours.
7.5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
37.5 hours is 7.5 hours every day.
Okay.
Right, you get a half-hour lunch, and technically you're supposed to get, you should get 2 breaks, but you don't have to get 2 breaks.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, that's.
Yeah, I know with at my workplace, I've printed out a picture of Scruffy from Futurama, Dan, and it just says I'm on break. So if I'm on break, I slap it on the cabinet above me. Someone walks by and wants me to do something, point to the sign.
Yeah.
And then
Well, the best part was I submitted my own hours. I submitted my own hours, right?
Oh my god!
I had a spreadsheet that you would fill out with what you did in 15 because it was billable to clients, right? I had to fill in what I was doing in 15-minute increments, but I had a code because I was an intern. Every hour I was there, I got paid, right? Because I wasn't on salary. The other people were on salary because like they it doesn't matter, but they had to allocate for their hours. No. So I would just bill. There was something called general admin, which is what I would put in for my like time when I wasn't doing stuff, and I was so fucking strategic. Like, so I would like if I took a task, like I would extend that one early by 15 minutes, and then later by like I was very savvy about it.
All right, so
you have to like track it with the Did you have to like correspond for like what time of day you worked on said project, or just?
It was a whole calendar. It was a whole calendar.
Shit, okay.
Like I had to allocate for what I was doing every 15 minutes of the day. Yeah.
Wow, that's rigid.
Yeah.
So, do you think you could pull off a secret sleepover at any job you've worked? And if so, how?
Yes, I worked at a Longo's as a cashier, and I was responsible for closing and counting money at the end of the night. Mm-hmm. So I was there with the manager and stuff. Then they'd like let you out, but like they did not keep track of stuff. Like you could have just like gone upstairs to the break room, yeah, this was an interesting place I worked. I also got hand job break.
Wait, you got a what on a break?
Hand jobs in that break room at Longo's.
Nice.
She did not wash her hands before going back to work. Okay, she did not, and she was a cashier.
For once, I am not.
That is against the law in Canada, sir.
It's 100% against the law. What did you want? I was 16. What am I supposed to do?
I am gonna screenshot Dan's face right now and just have it as the thumbnail. So
that just makes sense.
Man, thank you, COVID, for forcing people to wash their hands again. That is
disgusting. So now I'm thinking...
They're crusty!
Yeah,
I don't think it was... We were at work. I didn't come in the break room, all right? It was more so just the saliva issue. Yeah.
I don't
I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my god. Okay, so...
It's not getting better. Dig up,
Stop.
stupid.
Okay, all right.
What's the weirdest set? Why don't you tell us about your set?
Oh my god, Nick, stop. So I guess penis owner. We started doing this. Dan, you are a comedian just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So to that, I have to ask you, what is the weirdest set you've ever done, good or bad?
Oh man. Fuck. I can't. Here's my thing. Like, I have a lot of memories of like bad sets, but they're not like, oh, here's a quirky moment that happened right before I went on stage. It's usually like I went up, I did my stuff, the crowd was like, "You're not funny," and then I went home and then drove home and cried. That's the best I could get out of it. Mm-hmm. I guess what I can say is like I had a set last night that was annoying.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing the show. First off, the show so initially there's supposed to be two separate shows that were going on at the same time, okay. But then there was a surprise drop-in from a very famous comic in one of the side rooms. So what they did is that they merged the two shows together.
No.
They merged two lineups. And look, the show was on. It was like maybe like 7 people on that lineup, and the other show was like 12 people on the. It was a 19 comic show basically. That would happen.
Oh.
So, but thankfully, I was 5th in the lineup. I was like, all right, cool, this is fine. This is good. That's a sweet spot. The crowd's hopefully a little warm. I think I'll be okay. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I get put out on stage by the comic, and basically it was a mixture of like the show these people run like for the regular Friday basis, and then the other half was like an urban show, Black African American show. So it was like combining like goofy white people with like the yo, what's up? It's like a Showtime at the Apollo vibes. So they bring me, and so I follow like 3 like black comics, and they all kill.
Before you continue, can we talk? I love that you went Black African American.
Did I seriously say Black African American?
Because you
like
couldn't decide which one to go with, and you combined them both.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I thought I said black and then just went African American. Okay.
Oh god.
I'm an imbecile.
I'm gonna giggle at that all week.
And I'm getting canceled after this podcast. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. Man, Dave Chappelle's got nothing on me in terms of cancellation credibility.
Yeah.
But anyway, but no, like I mean, the comics, all the comics were good. Well, most of the comics were good. And the host, God bless the host, man. Like he had the stamina to sustain himself for like a 4-hour show, which is
that's crazy.
Insanity.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But anyways,
getting up to 2 hours is like pretty. Like you better.
Yeah, like 2 hours is like is crazy. But anyway, so I get brought up on stage, and like I like we were talking a little bit before. He brings me up on stage. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's a nationally touring comic. He's very funny." And I'm like, "Oh no, that's the kiss of death." Whenever a host says that, but he brings me up on stage, and like we go for the handshake, and like I'm a hugger. Like when I go for the handshake, I'll pull in and give like a hug, pat on the back, being like, because it's a friendly interaction. I like doing that. But anyways, like I go for the handshake, and then like I'm like I got the other hand ready for the hug, and then he just retracts the hand and then goes for the hug. It's like, oh whoa, this is goofy, this is weird.
Yeah.
But like it was like he was laughing, but I got a chuckle, and I was like, yeah, we've reached the awkward Caucasian part of this evening.
Yeah.
And it got a little bit of chuckles, and I was like, yeah, look, I know I'm a goof. Like, I know what I am. I'm a goofy white guy. Like, look, I'm wearing Beatles socks. Like, I lifted it up, and I was showing like Yellow Submarine around my ankles, and I was just like, look, I understand what's going on here, but like, yeah, this is what's happening. But then this one like obnoxious fucking white woman, just like you ever seen like that person in the crowd that just got this like instant scowl that just like refuses to smile, just looks at you just with the most like Nick gives that glare sometimes. Yeah.
I do too.
You do,
you should see me in a dark room. It's much worse.
Yeah, she's sitting front row. Spotlight is more on her than it's on me. So she's just sitting there, just like, and she like the moment I go, I'm an awkward Caucasian, and she goes, well, at least you're aware of it. I'm just like, oh God, here we go. And I'm just like, oh, well, yeah. And like, here's the thing. She was with all of her friends. Her friends were all in these like really cool costumes and stuff. But she looked like how most of my middle school math teachers dress. Just like an open button, or like a button down shirt with like jeans, looking like she's about to teach me fractions. And that's
lumberjack.
I asked her, I was like, oh, yeah, I see your friends are dressed up. What are you supposed to be? And she's like, I'm a pirate. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. I can tell you're a very minimalist look right there. She's like, yeah, I'm very minimal effort. In my head, I'm just like, this fucking dick. All right, fuck it. Whatever, fine. Who cares?
Probably the same way she fucks, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, well, I can tell that you're not aware of how much of a bitch you are. I wish I had said that on stage at the time, but I just thought about that come back in the morning. Anyways, but then I turned to, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say it was something that I have, Nick's actually seen me do this, was if you really want to get under someone's skin, you just say, like, especially in that scenario, you could say that I never knew sadness was a Halloween costume. Just...
Nice.
Just go, but they shut right down, like because it just goes right to the core and rips their heart out, and then it makes you feel really good on stage.
It's the Kali Ma of insults.
Yeah.
I need to.
Don't be afraid to be mean, like because you know what, you got it in you. Let's be honest, you're just
we all do.
Side as the rest of us. Yeah,
we are. Yeah.
So, go on, sorry.
But anyways, like but then I like turn to their friends and I'm like, oh, it's a cowboy and an angel. Is this supposed to be a couple's costume? We're like, no, not at all. I was like, oh, okay. I was gonna say you look quite broke back Mount Sinai right over here, and the audience fucking lost it in that one. So I was like, all right, cool, I got that. But then my dumb ass was like, because I saw them like throughout the entire show, and I was like, oh, I got 3 loaded ready. I'm just gonna hit them with all of the ones I came up with. But yeah, that's where I fucked up. I should have stuck with that one. And then instead I was like, oh, we got Brokeback Mount Olympus over here. And they're like, And then I was like, we got Brokeback Sermon on the Mountain over here. And they're like, oh, okay, never mind. You lost this again. I'm like, shit. But I got them back in the end. Thankfully.
Well, you were great. Those are all great lines. I think your issue was just stacking the same. Punch,
yeah, it was the same punch. Yeah, I was just kind of like, it was like I was basically riding on stage with a variety of different punchlines. Yeah, and then I went on to the material. I've been working on this material lately, where like I'm talking about like I think the whole "you must be this tall to ride Bumble" threshold is a lie. I don't think it's real. I'm 6'4", and people are like, "Oh man, Dad, ladies must just be flocking towards you." I'm be like, nope, that's not true. That's not a real. That's a myth. That's a myth. That's a lie. Okay. People view, I'm actually not going to go to the joke because.
I mean, what it is just like that's just not one of the no's you're going to get. Like you took a no off the table. You still have so many others.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Nick?
All right, that was a good turnaround.
You should use that. I think that's good.
It's like
that is actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Here's the thing. I shout on Nick a lot of this podcast today, so I can't just be like, "How dare you say something about me that's so inappropriate?" Like, I mean, Nick Low Tide Fernandez describing the deuces he drops.
And now it's there forever. That's the best part.
Yeah, it's like, I gotta take what you throw at me. You know, it's like I threw so much at you, and you took it like a champion. You know, you're not a
generation. They take it like a champion.
They take it like a champion. Well, sometimes you're not a zoomer. You're not a zoomer that just cries to TikToks.
I don't even have TikTok. It scared me. But me and Dino bonded on this earlier in our friendship that we both enjoyed like roasts that are like that hit really close to home.
Yeah,
because it's like, oh, you know me well enough to understand my insecurities.
Like, that's the thing. Like with roasts, and I'm trying to do more of them now to get flex that muscle more, and they're fun. They're enjoyable after you do them, but like the process of writing them beforehand is like, oh, how smart is this? Is this gonna get a big laugh? I don't know. And like it's hard to pitch like roast jokes to people, the right people. Because I tried pitching. So I did a battle against me and Atlas's friend, mutual friend, Alyssa Petit. And there was a bunch of jokes that like I told her afterwards where she was like, why didn't you use that one? That one's great. And I'm like, well, I ran it by like some people I know, and they're like, that's a little too mean. I'm just like, fuck, dude.
Honestly,
I get that. I got that a few times.
Like I had this.
Still went through with it. I was like, fuck it.
I had this one joke where it was Alyssa's a huge fan of SpongeBob SquarePants. Mostly because it was the first time she saw somebody on TV with the same shaped face as hers.
That's so good.
That is quality.
So good.
But I ran it by some people. They're like, Dan, no,
come on.
No, that's not you. Why would you do that? I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey, there's one comic that dresses like a librarian, and she was the one that I dropped. I didn't know sadness could be a fashion choice. And then another one was a girl who's in the community, and I said she was up here. I've never been jealous of facial hair before. That was interesting.
That's great.
And the thing is, so she didn't. She was not happy about that, and I was like, "Hey, it's just a joke. It's not. It's you know."
Yeah.
And
I think
my fear with trying to like go in on like somebody like roast the heckler or roast an asshole in the room when it's like when it's the first time somebody, because she was the first one to heckle. I was the first comic she heckled all night.
Yeah.
And like the crowd was kind of lukewarm to the rest of the people early on in the show, so I was like, do I go in on her, or does the audience feel a connection to the comics yet? Because if they don't feel a connection to the comics, I don't want to just be like, oh, you fucking asshole, man. Yeah. Oh, we got skull. What's your Jolly Rogers? A skull and lazy crossbones. Is that what we got right here? You minimalist? Like, yeah, I could try and go in, but
I think the further on in the show you are, the more license you have to like. Really,
yeah, exactly. But I think because of that, because my thing is I want to make sure that the room is on my side most of the night. Yeah. And if the room is not on my side, but then I go in on a heckler, then I'm just turning the rest of the room against me, being like, well, we think the same way this person thinks, where we don't like you, and you're going after one of ours, and now you've got a one versus however many people are in the audience mentality right now. Yeah. You're outnumbered, my friend. And
Bill Burr in Philadelphia. That's
Bill Burr in Philadelphia. Exactly.
Where it's still funny, but you're like, it's a brutal. That's a taxing experience. Like you come off that stage and you're going, I either made it or I'm gonna die tomorrow.
Yeah,
like, those are my options.
And going back to like that whole like, when I started going into material about like being tall and being like, yeah, that's not a big quality on dating apps. I don't think that joke always hits with like fellow tall people. Yeah. And honestly, I don't think there was anybody above 5'11" in that room last night besides myself.
They're all peasant. So, don't entertain them.
So I think because of that, there was all those people that were just like, oh, this guy's rubbing it into these tall. Oh yeah. Oh, you don't know your privilege. Check yourself, white boy. Like, I think there was some of that too. That was she got that like angry.
People who are short also don't understand the pain of going down a staircase to a basement and not judging the ceiling height properly and getting a mild concussion. Mm-hmm. Like the number of times where I've gotten like Like I've gotten to the bottom of the stairs and be like, I lost a few brain cells there.
Yeah.
You go
like, dude, the grass is
step and you just boom right into the ceiling. Yeah.
Look, the grass is not greener when you're this high. All right, it doesn't work like that.
His shirt is though.
So
listen, there's a toll in being tall. You duck every time you drive under a bridge. Don't know why, but you do.
It just is,
you crouch, you hunch,
like that.
So Dan, the first Dan on Generation Dan, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Dino, Atlas, and Nick. Yeah, I did it in that order because it spells my name. I'm cute. I'm cute. I'm coy.
That's where the name comes from. Where can people find you and follow you and all that?
Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, well, you all can follow me at Dan Grove. I just realized that you all have your tags right here, and I don't. I should have entered that instead of this pseudonym that I have here to help limit Google searches from people from work.
Well, there's that, but also, like, if people are just listening to it, they're not going to see it. So
true. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Anyways. You can find me at Dan Grove Comedy _ on Instagram. That's where you'll be able to keep up with all my latest updates for shows. You can follow me on, you can kind of follow me on Twitter. I'm kind of dead on that platform at the moment, DanOComedy _ and you can also follow me at Twitch on twitch.tv/DanTheComedian_ as well. I've actually got I'm planning on doing a 24-hour stream on November 19th of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I'm doing a 24-hour charity stream. Going to be basically all proceeds are going to be going towards the food bank of Los Angeles County to support for Thanksgiving, for feeding those who are not as fortunate as everyone else in the world. So yeah.
I think that might be the episode. I can't remember if it's Thanksgiving or the 18th.
We like you. Now you.
Yeah.
No, hey, look, I was just like, look. All I'll say
you
is,
said you were dead inside, sir.
No,
you said you lied to us. You have emotions and caring. How dare you?
Oh my God.
I am both saddened and disgusted.
My God.
I'm sorry, I'm wholesome.
Liar. Blasphemer! No.
You can find me on Instagram at Nick Fernandez Comedy. That's where I post stuff and do things.
Yeah.
How about you?
You can find me at Atlas Novak, Twitter, Instagram, or check out my other podcast at Nexus at Night in the same places. It's about a trading card game. If you don't like it, I completely understand. Trading cards are dumb.
I get it, but it's still the genetic marvel. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, just Google me. If you are not willing to invest the time to Google Dino the Genetic Marvel, we're not going to get along. So just start there.
I'm doing it right now. That's why I'm looking down.
Yeah. And you got to follow back, bro.
Follow back, fucker. Yeah.
Give me the likes.
Yeah. So if
you hear that, audience, give us the button clicks.
There you go. It's on the bottom of the thing. All right.
People tell your friends. Email us at Generation Dan Pod because that's a word.
At Generation Dan Pod at Gmail or at Generation Dan on Twitter. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Nice. That's a treat for the ears for everyone.